everyone, this is Ashley Howard with Ashley Howard Teaches, and we are on CC Cycle 2, Week 5, 5th edition. Alright, so let's get started on tutor planning and foundations memory work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss a week of tutor planning, and be sure to stick around to the very end because I will be doing fine arts planning and review planning. So I don't want you to miss a thing. Alright, so let's get started. So for math this week, we're going to skip count by 9s and 10s, which is great. So for our 9s, I have this free digital download down below. Now this includes all of our skip counting numbers, so that is absolutely free for you. You can find it down below in the description, and I hope you enjoy it. So what I'd like to do is start off by going through the song and singing them slowly and pointing to the numbers as we go. So we'll go through that 2 times. So for our 9s, I also like to play a game called popcorn. So I'll have the students line up in front of the wall, they'll crouch down, and when I point to them, they pop up. Now we all sing the skip counting song together, and if it's going too fast and I feel like they're just mumbling through the words, we'll stop the song and I'll just have them sing the song and we'll sing it slowly so that we can get it better. So that's kind of fun. So they'll all be popping up as you point to them, and you can do that 2 or 3 times, and they like to do that. They have a lot of fun with that. And then you can say, let's pop the popcorn faster, and do it a little bit faster the next round. So what I also like to do is after we've done some fun things, I like to sit them down and make sure they really have their skip counting. So we'll play the song, we'll sit down, and we'll do what I call pat snaps. So we'll pat for the number, and then we'll snap for the next number. So super simple, but it kind of calms them down too after we've been running around kind of having fun. And we say those numbers go through 2 or 3 times, and we pat and snap as we say them. So that is our 9s. Now for 10s, a lot of the kids know the 10s. So this one can be really fun because you're not just learning as so much as reviewing the numbers. So that's really fun. I like to get my number cards back out. And by the way, if you don't have a laminator that you just love, I just bought a new laminator and I have been waiting. I went on Amazon, it was super cheap, and it works so good with paper products, with cardstock. So if you get a chance to check that out, I linked it in the description below. So I really love that one. So for 10s, what I like to do is we will get a balloon, and I'll get a balloon for half my class. So then they'll pair off. And so as we say the 10s, and after we've done our number cards, we'll hit the balloon to the person on the other side, and they get to hit it back. So you'll have like 5 kids on one side, 5 kids on the other, and one of them has the balloon on this side, and they just pop it over to the next person. And we'll say our 10s as we go across. They have a lot of fun with that. Then if I have extra time, I can always bring extra balloons and have them pop them up in the air as they say them to themselves. And there's so many fun things you can do with balloons and just make it entertaining. So that's kind of how we do our 10s. I like to end that with putting our balloons down so I don't have to worry about grabbing those at the end and kind of transitioning through that. And what we do is we jump, we find our partner, and we jump and we give them 10s as we say them to end that. So that's really fun. I like to have the music playing and have them do it to the music because I think that just helps them as they remember them later on too. So that is our math for this week. Let's move on to science. So for science, we're talking about some cycles in nature, and we're gonna start off with water. So what I like to do is have them swim around the room for water. And then for carbon and oxygen, I like them to have a big C and then a big O. And then for nitrogen cycle, we're just gonna clap. We're gonna go nitrogen. So we'll go through these a couple of times. I also like to post on the wall different letters. So for water cycle, I'll have a big W, and I might make some water squiggles on there, and I'll post some of those on the wall. Then I'll post some C's and O's together on the wall, and then I'll also put my N on the wall. And so I'll have those letters scattered throughout. And then what I'll have them do is we're going to go on a search for our science. So we'll kind of go together, everybody find a W for water cycle. And I kind of have them up a little bit higher so they jump and hit one. So I'll have like maybe 5 or 6 of each post it on the wall for them to have fun with, and then we'll go through and we'll do all of those. So that's kind of a fun hands-on way just to kind of mix it up a little bit, get them moving, and have fun with it. So that is how we are going to do science this week. So for Latin this week, we are doing first conjugation endings, future tense, and it starts with bow. So I like to pretend like we're getting a bow and arrow. We're gonna pull back bow. And so we're gonna start with that one. I always want to put that in their memory so when they go back and they can't remember which first one goes with which conjugation ending, that helps them to remember, oh yes, in the future, I'm gonna pull my bow out and shoot my bow and arrow. So that's kind of a fun way to get that clicked into their mind so they can learn that. So after we learn the first one, we're gonna get popsicle sticks out and we're gonna pull them out and do our different actions. Now, a fun one to do, and I've heard different ones of these, so some of these I've thought of myself, some of them I've used from other people. So one of them you can put on your stick, I was gonna go through probably 7 different ideas to kind of help you this week, is grow like a tree. So they start down low and they grow up like a tree. And then you can do melt like a popsicle. So then they go down. You can do gallop like a horse, or they can do chomp like an alligator, or chomp like a dinosaur. And then they can do swim like a fish, and do those actions as they say them. We can do jump like a kangaroo, and we can do run like a cheetah. So those are some fun different ideas, and you can just put those on the popsicle sticks. They pick one out and they get to do those actions. So that's really fun for them to do. So let's move on to history. All right, so for history this week, we have some great hand motions. So we're gonna start with 100 Years War. So we'll just have 10 fingers out, and then they're gonna war against each other like this. And then for arc, we're going to go like this and make an arc with our hands, or you could just do it one hand like that. And then for king, we're going to put a crown on our head, and then for 7th, we're gonna put 7 fingers out. So for lead, we're gonna pull like this. And then for defeat, we're going to go like this and punch our hand. And then for siege of Orleans, we're going to march in a circle like this. And then for late, we're gonna run really fast like we're running late. And this is a fun one. And then when we talk about fleas, we're gonna go, ah, like this. And then for plague, we're gonna go like this because it was very deadly. We're gonna go, ah, the plague. And for 1 out of 3, we're going to go like that. And then for Europeans, we're gonna go like this and make an E. So those are hand motions this week. I also got a great idea from another tutor, and you have them do a mirror image of each other as they sing the history song. So they sit the students one across from the other, and as they do the hand motions and as they sing the song, they mirror each other. And so I thought that is a wonderful idea. I love that idea. So that's something fun for you to take in your classroom as well. So let's move on to English. All right, so English this week, we are doing objective pronouns. So for objective pronouns, we're gonna start out with me. And then for you, we're gonna point out like this. And then for him, her, it, we're gonna go him, her, it. For us, we're going to go like this. And for you, we're gonna point out again like this. And for them, we're going to put 2 fingers out like this. So those are our hand motions. So I like to go through those a couple of times. And then what I like to do is pick out an action. So I'll go back to my popsicle sticks, but these are a different set of popsicle sticks. And so they're really simple ones so that we can say these, but do the actions at the same time. So it might be, let's clap them out. Let's snap them out. We're going to stomp them out. We're going to pat our head and say them. We're going to jump up and down and say them. We're going to slide to the left, slide to the right and say them. So those are some fun ways to make that a little bit more interactive after we've done the hand motions. All right, so now it's time for us to move on to geography. So for geography this week, our places are kind of small dots because they're cities in Europe. We're gonna start off and we're just gonna dot them with our marker. Then we're going to point to them. Then we're going to erase by erasing the spot on each place. And then I'm gonna have them dot them randomly out of order. And then we'll go through and point to them, and then I'll have them put their pens and maps down, and I'll have them come up. They can volunteer and come up and point them out as we all say them together. So that's how I like to do geography this week. Let's move on to fine arts. All right, so fine arts, we are doing our perspective drawing. Guys, I love this because we talk about horizon line, and vanishing point. Now, what's wonderful about this week is it can totally change drawings when they add these elements into their drawings. So it's exciting for them to learn because now they'll be able to draw buildings and streets and farms, and it just opens up their horizons on what they can learn. I'll leave a link below of a great perspective drawing that I've used that's very similar to this one. This is one my first grader did last year. So you can see our horizon line right here, and you can see the vanishing point right here. And all it is it's a farm, and you can see the sun right here, and you can see as these get farther away, they're supposed to get smaller and smaller. So it shows them as things are close by, they're gonna be really big to us, but as they get farther away, they look smaller. So we have to demonstrate that in our drawings. And our horizon line is gonna separate our top of our picture from the bottom of our picture, our sky from our land, and so forth. And then we have our vanishing point where things seem to almost disappear into the horizon. So we get to show them this. They can also, there's also great ones that show how to draw roads or how to show buildings. I have so many great ones that I've used. I always like to have different fun examples so that if I have people who have done it really fast, they can go ahead and do a different one as they're waiting for other people to finish. So this is a great one because you can make it super detailed. And what I like to do is have them draw it first, and then they get to color and make their drawing more exciting. And if they do finish early and it takes them more than that time, I have another one or another 2 or 3 that they can work on. So I always have something for them to be able to work on while they're waiting, because I don't want them to just sit there bored and not know what to do. I always love to play classical music as they're doing these drawings. It just makes the environment so peaceful and tranquil and beautiful. So that is our perspective drawing, and like I said before, I will leave that link in the description below. Anything I talk about in these videos, you'll find the link below. I also have a great Spanish printable that's for free. You can find the link below, and I have one that is for sale it's about 40 pages, so it's a lot more, but for a very reasonable price. So you can find that in the links below as well. All right, so let's move on to review. So let's say you're watching this video and you have to prepare and it's the night before and you don't have any time to go get anything else. A really easy review game is just to get some Legos, and as they answer, they get like 5 or 6 Legos to build with. So if you're looking for something last minute that's super fast, that one is always easy and easy to bring. So that's a good one. Another one that's easy to do on the go is have your dry erase markers of different colors, and then you set up the scene. It might be a fall scene with a pumpkin, and as the children answer the review question, they get to come up and draw on the review board. Super simple, super easy, and you have it prepared in a little bit of time. Now, if you're looking for something a little more detailed, I have an idea for you as well. So another idea, since you already have balloons out this week, is to put a little popsicle stick at the end of a plate, and then you have little holders, almost like a spoon and egg race, but you put a balloon on top instead. And they have to race from one part of the classroom to the other part, and they go 2 at a time, and they cheer each other on and encourage each other, and they hold these and they run across the classroom and run back. So whoever is in last place gets to answer the question. Their whole team does. So we go through that way. Another fun thing to add on to this, so you can go through their races a bunch of times, and if they're starting to get bored of that, then have them line up, put a piece of blue tape on the floor beforehand, and put some subjects on the board like geography, history, English, and they have a balloon and they try to hit their favorite subject. And that's the one that they answer. So there's some fun ways you can do this and make it super fun. Or you can even do who hits the balloon the farthest, and then the opposite team, whoever doesn't win, gets to answer the questions. There's so many fun things you can do with the balloons, and you can even do 3 different things. So I always make sure that if a review game is getting slow, that I add something new. I always have a backup plan, because some of those review games that you think are they're going to knock it out of the park with and love it, they don't, and you're just baffled by it. So that's a fun one to do. Another thing you can do with your balloon is have a soft bat, like a foam bat, and have them play baseball with it. So you pitch it to them, they hit the balloon, and then after they hit it, they get to answer a review question. So that's a fun way to do it and keep safe in the classroom as well. So I hope you enjoyed those review game ideas. I'm so glad you stopped by. Thank you so much for sticking around to the very end. I hope you will hit that subscribe and that like button so that you don't miss a thing on tutor planning, on homeschooling ideas, on homeschooling curriculum reviews. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.